as I'm sitting editing this video right now, I'm laughing at that picture. That picture cracks me up every time I see it. It's just, it sums up our lives a little bit, I guess. It's just kind of funny. A lot of people may not approve of my son telling my wife to suck his ass, but that's our family and that's how we work. And so if you don't like it, well then, on you. Hey guys, welcome to the Vodkast. I am your host, Jason Oliver, as always. I wanted to show you a little quick studio tour today because eventually I'm not going to be filming in this room anymore. My wife has agreed to allow me to use the main part of our basement apartment as a filming studio, which will allow us to do a lot more things like cooking shows because there's a nice kitchen there, huge amount of space to be able to film and give us a lot of room to move around in and try new things and do different things. So that's coming. Sadly, it will come upon the death of Bunny. So I'm not looking forward to it, and I hope it doesn't come anytime soon. But I thought I'd show you what the studio looks like right now, or the office, whatever you want to call it. It actually looks a little bit different since this morning because I switched some cameras around. I feel like this is my better side. So I'm going with this side from now on. Maybe. We'll see how it looks. I don't know. Last episode was a disaster that came together very nicely. My friend Bob helped me out and fix the audio issues, which you can probably tell. Hopefully, I've got everything plugged in and turned on the way it's supposed to be. I'm having some weird issues with this webcam though. For some reason, it's pixelating and like freaking out if I bring up the sharpness or the brightness a little too much, so I had to dial them back. I think it still looks okay, and I'm not going to use a lot of shots on here anyway. The only reason why I'm doing this shot right now is due to the fact that I want to talk about these. But I did want to say thank you again to Bob for cleaning up my audio, and hopefully that's the end of that, and things will be great and fine and dandy. So, the global hot sauces. Jess and Herbie sent me this, and my kid's suggestion was to do Oreos dipped into the different sauces and say how I feel about them. But I feel like that doesn't really do justice to these hot sauces, because these hot sauces deserve to be on a chip, or at the very worst, a spoon in my mouth. But I think what we're going to do is we'll probably do a chip test and an Oreo test on the same day. That way my kids get the satisfaction of watching me eat Oreos with hot sauce on them. And, you know, we get to try them with the chips. Take a look at the studio tour now, and then when we come back, I got a few questions I found in the book of questions, and we're going to wrap it up, make this a nice quick video. This is my Boring Tuesday video, we're going to call this one. So, enjoy. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought I would do a little bit of a walkthrough of the office and just show you what the setup looks like now, as compared to a few years ago. So, here we go. I got a bunch of art down here that needs to be hung up at some point. Some of it needs to be repainted. The Oreo box in the trash. See, I'm not keeping my trash treasures all the time. My Gibson Les Paul Custom Light, my favorite, with my Marshall DSL 100H head. Big fan of that amp. And guitar combination. Look at that. That's from Kim. Carol was supposed to take a video of it for the Christmas video, but she didn't. That's my favorite scarf. I actually accidentally stole that scarf from Target. I put it in the carriage, didn't think about it, checked out, got to the car, and I was like, well, free scarf for me. I know that probably wasn't the right thing to do, but I'm also not a huge fan of major corporations. This is, okay, so here's my most embarrassing thing that I own. And I'm not embarrassed anymore. I used to be really super embarrassed about wanting to own and owning a replica wrestling belt thing. When I was growing up, there was three things I wanted. I wanted to be able to fly, I wanted a real lightsaber, and I wanted a wrestling belt. Well, I haven't quite achieved those other two goals, but I did get that one. A little bit of wheat there. Super excited to own that on vinyl, even though I don't own a record player. Peter Mayhew, he was amazing to meet. Very patient and gentle man. Giant hands. My hands disappeared in his hands. Ted Neely. Jason. May you live your dreams. Ted Neely, see? And of course we got old Chief here. Here's the Star Wars shelf. Han and Carbonite. Little Mandalorian, some Rebels, some Yoda. What do we got over here? A little Pocky. A little Paulo. If you haven't checked out those videos, you should totally check them out. I'll put a card in here somewhere. Little Vader, Boba Fettish. And up top, we got the Dude and Walter in the back, and of course we got some Marvel superheroes up front. And let's wrap it. Oh, the Creech. The Creech is one of my favorite figures. That and Daryl. He's a pretty neat one too. McFarlane used to do really good work. And that I found at Goodwill for, I think it was like $3. Yeah. Okay. So let's moving right along here. So there's an old, not a cribbage board. If you can remember the name of this, put it in the comments below. I think it begins with a C. I just can't remember. And my Mandalorian dartboard. So now I'm rocking this green screen in the back here, and it's lit and hidden by this chair when I'm sitting here. And I don't know what we're going to do with it. I was thinking about getting a tapestry to put up, but then I thought, why would I do that? Why don't I just put up a green screen that I can have whatever I want? This was on a package that Jay and Desi sent me with his handmade pepper jelly, which was really, really good. This is artwork she made for me. So recently I finally got around to setting up these speakers on the wall. I got something off the desktop because the desktop is constantly... There's always shit on the desk. There's always tons of shit on the desk. This is a pretty cool light though. It's got a USB port on the back. Got my charger connected to it for my batteries for my cameras. Boom, 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 boom. And then you can change, you know, if you want bright white or daylight. Jen sent me these. These are the cards that I ask questions from all the time. And this is, it's like a fidget toy. It's really neat. That's why I keep it on my desk. I just got this recently. This is really cool. For $12, I now have a remote control for my camera so I can start recording, stop recording. As a matter of fact, I need to put that over here right now with my notes because I didn't use it last time and I had to get up. Here's a lighter for whenever you might need a lighter. This came off a really cool craft I made once. If I can find a picture, I'll put it up right here. Genetics, that's right. I'm getting my DNA tested, so we're obviously going to do an episode about that. Carol got that for me for my birthday. I just need to send it off. I just haven't done it yet. And there's some peanut butter cups, some marshmallow peanut butter cups that Cindy got for me, which I've been hanging on to. I've been trying to save them. I don't know why. The old PC here. A little hard to see with all the reflections. It's a fun computer. It was fun to build. No, it wasn't. I hate building computers. I'm never doing it again. This is the overhead. Here's my notes for today. I always have to remember to turn this microphone on and to turn all the lights on because sometimes I forget to like turn that one on and then I go to edit and I'm like, God damn it. That's my band. I did the poster for one of our earlier shows. And that's a rug that I thought was going to be a full-size rug, and I thought I was getting a deal, and then when I went to go pick it up, it was this tiny rug, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw it on the wall. And this print has a really interesting story. First of all, it's one of my favorite Larry Elmore prints. When he sent it, he had already signed it, and for some reason, I thought that he hadn't. So I actually, what was the name of it? Mysticon, I hosted a panel, and he was on it, and I was, holy shit, was I nervous, because I'm like, dude, this is Larry Elmore. He's like one of my favorite artists. But either way, I think he did, yeah, he must have done this one first, because it's got a number, and then he did this one at the show while I was there. So it's kind of neat. I had white paint on my hand one day. I got lots of my kids' artwork everywhere. This is the half of the huge frame that I use when I have a backdrop and when I use it. These are some of the clamps. And this office wouldn't be an office without Oreos. Little baby Yoda. Yoda was my grandmother's favorite character, and it was the only good guy I would let her play when we played with my action figures, like 2 years ago. Now, she's been dead for a while. Speaking of dead, Mom? Yeah, Mom has been kind of shuffled to the back of that shelf, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so this is the mic. I'm going to... let's face it, I'm going to get an audio interface eventually, and this is probably the mic I'm going to try out first. Oh, that was neat. Okay, so there's the 80D back in action. I've got the 18 to 135 on it. And then over here, we got the 70D that Bob sent me. And I hooked it up with a little Rode mic just so I can sync my audio a little bit better. And, ooh, I got to clean that screen. And I've got a 50mm, the Nifty 50 on there, that I got for like $40 or $45 or something. I think it makes a nice secondary shot, and I have fixed the angle at which it's coming at me, Brad, so it should look a little bit better. All right, let's start that. Well, here's my old Guild here. I've had this for quite a few years. True American! Anywho, I love that guitar. It sounds fantastic. It's tuned to open G right now, which I'm falling in love with. Okay, so this is a shillelagh. You may have seen this on the road to 40 at one point. That was my great-grandmother's, and it actually came from Ireland with her. Some more, a new low framed poster prints that I need to hang. Some vodka. Tito, somebody got me that for my birthday, I think. And that tequila bottle looked really cool. I got that one for Carol. It's some kind of lady dragon wine thing. Frangelico, which goes really well with Chambord, my favorite drink. Nuts and berries. And this is my friend Sam. He had a bad night, let's just say that, and he drank that bottle, and that's what remains. There is actually probably like a good shot left in there. I have considered it, and eventually I probably will drink it. This is one of the lamps that I got from Heather, who Carol works with. It's old, it's clunky, but I tell you one thing, this thing can go super fucking high, and it's super fucking balanced, and you don't have to worry about it falling over unless you bang into it. The wiring is a little iffy because it's certainly fucking old, as well as this one here. So, all right, moving up the shelves. I'm just running out of room for shit. So there is a Frangelico bottle that my friend Jim gave me there. This was when Jess and Herbie came to visit. There might be a swig in there. I know I took a sip of it not too long ago. Another Ted Neely signed. Old Jesus Christ himself. Oh, by the way, that's the D&D metal figures. Look at that. $2, $2.50, $2.45. $2.45 got me, if I ever choose to use it in a game, a beholder, which is a pretty good deal. Old role-playing stuff that I hung on to, some of my favorite stuff, or stuff that I never actually even got to use. Oh, Elvis, what's up, brother? Got this skateboard hanging up. I attached this weird little hinge that I bent onto the bottom of the skateboard so that I could roll my camera for one shot. And there's Rick. The only Rick and Morty memorabilia. No, that's not true. Oh, Jesus, shit. There's so many goddamn cords and cables. I need a bigger studio. Yeah, there's the 3 Pringles. The Pickle Rick, the Morty mustard ones, and then the Mr. Fuck my face. Mr. Meeseeks. Jesus Christ, my brain. Oh, there's the, I got a little bit of that left in there, too. The old House Stark bourbon. Old McFarlane Dragon, part of the frame. Rick Grimes. I don't know why I'm dictating everything to you. And there's the legendary Road to 40 goblet. And the old backdrop. And a Stormtrooper helmet. If we come down here, literally like 4 or 5, 6 tripods, unipods. I've got a unipod hanging on this thing. I got shit hanging over there. That amp Corey got for me, or he gave to me. It was I think he found it in the trash, and I love using it. I use it around the house because it's just quiet. And that brings us to the end of our tour here, I guess. And there's Stella. So yeah, that's the new office tour. I'm trying to convince my wife to let me use the apartment downstairs after Bunny passes away as my church/studio. We'll see how that turns out. All right, say goodbye, Stella. Stella, say goodbye. Say goodbye. I said say goodbye. The next step will be to go down and I'll film the basement apartment. A lot of you, well, not a lot of you, but some of you have seen it, and it's a lot longer, which means a lot in the world of filming. To me, at least, the way I like to film, I like to be in the center of between what's behind me and what's ahead of me. So if the camera could be 10 feet ahead of me and the wall behind me could be 10 feet behind me, that means I get a lot more depth of field, and I think it looks a lot nicer. But we'll find out someday when we can get down there and actually set everything up and see how it's going to look. Let's hit the book of questions. I'm switching over to this because we've gone through a lot of the questions in the deck, and I've gone over a lot of the questions with my friends on Saturday nights. So I found 3 that are very interesting, and I meant to bring them up the other night, and they just didn't come up. You know how friends are. We start talking about things. One thing leads to another. You forget stuff. You remember stuff. You laugh. You cry. You piss your pants. You vomit. You wake up in a pool of your own sweat and snot. Okay, so do you think the world will be a better or worse place in 100 years from now? So I decided I didn't like the answer to my question, so here's the real answer. Yes, it will be. Under all circumstances, the world will be a better place in 100 years. Whether we're here or not doesn't really matter, because the world will find a way. I would love to believe in my heart of hearts that our message gets out to the world and changes the people, and they say, hey, you know what? This is dumb. Let's be nice to each other and let's take care of the planet. Next! Would you rather be a member of a world championship sports team or be the champion of an individual sport? Which sport would you choose? I don't know which sport I would choose off the top of my head, and this is going to sound kind of not egotistical, but I want my actions to be rewarded for what I did. Maybe that's selfish, maybe it's a little egotistical, but there's definitely a part of me that likes accolades, that when you're done playing a song, I mean, any of you guys who are musicians or artists out there, you can get the satisfaction of like selling your art or performing your music and having people applaud or lose their mind after a song. Some of my greatest experiences are just that. But as far as it comes to sports, I like team sports rather than individual sports. So, I mean, is karate a sport? That would be pretty cool. I'd love to be the karate champion of the world. Wouldn't you? And finally, before I let you go today, would you accept $1 million to leave the country and never set foot again? Now, this book was written in 1985, originally published in 1985, so I looked it up, and by today's values, it would be probably closer to $3 million, 2.79, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, or 2.74. Yes, absolutely. If somebody wants to offer me $2.79 million to leave the country, I would do that in a heartbeat. Because I have no... I mean, with the exception of my friends who live in this country, that would be a big bum out. That would be a big bum out? That's a new one. It would really bum me off, is what I'm saying, is if I had to leave the country and never see my friends again. To not see the country again, it would be a little heartbreaking. I love the White Mountains, you know. I love strolling the shores of, you know, the beaches of Providence or whatever. But all things considered, I've spent 46 years of my life, well, almost 46 years of my life here in the United States. I would love to spend the second half of my life somewhere that I've never seen before. And think about it in terms of your friends. I mean, how often do I get friends come to see me now? Like, most of my friends, well, I mean, besides my friends in Virginia, my friends from Massachusetts or California or wherever they're from, they can't get out here all the time. You know, we have a lot of visitors, and I appreciate everybody who's ever come to see us, and it makes that month just a glowing moment in life when you're able to share memories and times with people that you don't get to do so on a daily basis. So on that side of things, it would suck. However, wouldn't it be cool, and I think you'd get a lot more visitors if all of a sudden you're living in, you know, the Netherlands somewhere, or East Japipi, Guatemala, Mexico, Hemahuganda, Demit Huskal. Imagine living in Dubba. That's all I got for you guys today. I just want to show you the tour of the thing, catch up. Didn't want to post one video this week, and I imagine we have something coming up this week. I don't know what it'll be, but I hope to see you before the weekends. And if you guys are loving watching these as much as I am loving making them, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and hit that little bell icon wherever it might be. And it'll let you know every time I put a new video out. Don't forget to make somebody smile tomorrow, and make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today, tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier together. Let's sing and dance in the sun and in the rain as one, my brothers and sisters. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love. And never let your inner child die. Super important, seriously. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and take care of those around you who can't take care of themselves. They are the ones that need it the most. I'm Jason Oliveira. This is the Vodkast, and I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road. Good night. I realized as I was flipping my camera around that our addresses are on this and I'll have to block it out. But I wanted people to be able to see that my friend Paul has sent me something here. I know what it is. You don't, but you will on the next episode of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next episode.